Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tiny Blue Games. My name, of course, is Seesaw or Chris, and today we're talking about Guild Wars 2. More specifically, we're talking about SPvP, or Structured PvP for those of you who don't know, and how you can level / get currency, gold, or whatever through it. Because it is kind of different than a lot of other games, and it's worth talking about since there's a lot of new people entering the game right now. So I'll kind of give you a basic rundown of things, and then in the comments, leave any questions that sort of feel not covered well enough. But let's talk about most basically how you get into it. So once you're level 2 or 3 and you've gotten past your main race story where you kill like a big, monster for your race and they hail you as a hero, which happens around, it's like the first thing you do when you enter the game. It's like the tutorial. Once you pass the tutorial and you're about level 2 or 3, you should see this this cross swords sort of icon that says PvP, and you can click on it, and then you can enter the Heart of the Mist, which is on the left here. Once you get there, you will be bumped up to level 80 of whatever class you are, and you'll be able to access these two icons at the top of your screen. Now, the first one is the PvP build. You can change your weapons, your sigils, your runes, your amulets, and your specializations, which are your traits, to whatever you want, and everything's unlocked for everyone that's level 80, which is super convenient, super nice. And I mean, I guess I should be more specific. I've already gotten kind of unspecific. There are some specific amulets that are locked unless you, and if I look here, you use gold to unlock them. You'll get gold pretty quickly, so it's not a huge deal. I don't know why they're just behind, a 10 gold paywall, but whatever. There's a few things you need to buy like that, but mostly, I mean, stat-wise, you're going to be able to play with the same amount of stats. You just don't get the same stat composition as some people. And then there's the other button here, which is Play PvP, and it's the same button as the swords over there, so I don't really know why there's two of them, but there is anyways. From here, you'll access the same little browser, the PvP home browser. If you wanted to exit PvP, you could just click the exit PvP lobby, and it'll take you to wherever you were in the world. And then there's two queues right here. There is a unranked arena and a ranked arena. We're not going to talk about the ranked arena in this video, as there's going to be a new league system coming in for the expansion, and I feel it's probably more worth talking about it once that comes into play. The unranked queue we'll talk about just in a moment, but first we're going to talk about the most basic queue. And if you go down on the side here to game browser, the hot join is right here. If you push play now, you'll be playing in about 20 seconds. It'll bring you into a game that's just about to start or a game that's already starting. You could end up on a losing team that's already going, but you'll get in right away. And the big thing about this is if you're trying out a new build and you just want to get in something really quick, that's the best way to do it. You just hit hot join and you're in. It's really quick paced because as soon as you're done a match, it'll bring you into the next match type, and it'll just keep on going and going until you hit the PvP button again and click leave or back to Heart of the Mists, which you can do at any point. You can do it in the middle of a game. You can do it in the middle of someone killing you. It doesn't matter. There's no loyalty to that game. It's just a quick server join. Then what you also see here is all the different browsers that people make. Some of them are custom for duels or whatever. The ones that are just server 007 are ones that are just in the game already, and they're just different little match types that are pretty basic. But that's all I want to talk about. The other queue we have is Play Unranked. This is probably the queue that I would recommend using the most, and I'll tell you why right now. The hot join queue that I just talked about will award 500 rank points for a win. And if you have no idea what PvP is, you're very confused about rank points. Rank points is what fills up your purple bar at the bottom. This is your level in the Heart of the Mist area or in PvP. It is not tied to your level outside of PvP. So say you came in at level 3 outside, like you were questing whatever, you got to level 3, and then you could go to the PvP area, you'd be level 0 here. This is strictly your PvP level. It doesn't mean a lot anymore. It used to be tied to like gear rewards you used to get. It's now mostly tied to end finishers. So for example, if you got to level 80, you get a cool dragon finisher, and you get a new finisher about every 10 levels in it. The other thing you get each level is a like 5 bags of sort of like kind of good stuff, like loot bags, and a tome of knowledge. A tome of knowledge, and I'll get to this right now just so we don't talk about it later, is how you're going to level in PvP. When the game first launched, you could not level through this kind of PvP, which was hugely disappointing to me, as I enjoy, you know, just PvPing to level. It's one of my favorite things to do. I don't enjoy questing that much, and it was a big disappointment. So you should be happy that you live in a time where we can now level through PvP. And not only that, but it's probably the best leveling system in all of PvP for all games. And I'll explain why that is. The item itself is account bound. This is beautiful because, say you have a top level, I don't know, ranger like myself, that you love the PvP on, but you should really, you know, you're thinking to yourself, you know, hey, I should really start leveling an alt for this new expansion, but you don't want to, you know, go and start leveling through PvP. Well, maybe you do, but you don't really want to change characters right away. So all you have to do is just gather all the tomes of knowledge on the one character, put them in the bank, swap them to the other character you want to level, and then just use them on that character, and you level that character without even having to play on it. It's super convenient that way, as you can choose whichever character you feel like playing at that day without feeling guilty about it. It's also super handy, say if you knew a new class was going to be released during a certain expansion, same, you know, whatever, maybe a Revenant class. If you had 80 of these, 80, sorry, that was like a weird 80. If you had 80 of these in your bank, just waiting there, you could insta-level to 80 of your new class, just like that. Very convenient, very, very convenient. Let's talk about how you get those. So I already mentioned once you get all the way to the end of the purple XP bar, you'll get rewarded with one of those. Now that's, you know, pretty fast once you like start at 0 and start going up. It's pretty quick from 0 to 10, but it's got a very steep curve once you start getting higher. It's much more steep even than the PvE curve. It's a lot steeper actually. So it won't be that quick. It'll be kind of just a bonus one here and there. The way you mostly get them is if you hit the PvP browser again here, and then on the side we have the home, and we had the game browser. The in-between one here is the reward tracks. Now this is super important. What we have here are different reward paths you can choose to go down. I have mine set to filter only the available ones I have right now. You can see the completed ones, you can see the locked ones, or you can see all of them. But available is just convenient because then you can see, you know, which ones you can actually activate right now. The locked ones is kind of convenient because you can actually put your mouse over the lock and see how you unlock it. So it's good that way. And let's talk about how you unlock some of them. So right now I'm doing one of the dungeon reward paths. There is one for each dungeon, and it rewards the gear from the dungeon as well as tokens from the dungeon and weapons from the dungeon. The way you unlock a dungeon one is you have to do the story mode of that dungeon. So pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy that way. It wouldn't take more than half an hour to do a story mode of any of the dungeons, I don't think. Maybe the raw one would take a little longer, depending on the group you have. There's also going to be reward tracks for specific you know, world events going on, as well as a glorious reward track, which is kind of just, you know, rewards more top level crafting materials and just stuff you might need at level 80, as well as mystic clovers, which are used to craft legendaries. Now, any of these reward tracks can be, well, I mean, not any of them. I should rephrase that. Lots of these reward tracks can be reactivated once they're finished, so you can just keep on doing it over and over again if you want more dungeon tokens or more mystic clovers. Some of them aren't going to be, like if it's a specific one for an event, maybe it won't be active. And I also know for some of the dungeon ones, they're only active during certain months. So you might have to wait, you know, a month to start doing this dungeon track. But it kind of adds some flavor then, because you might be waiting, you know, to do this specific track and you have to wait a month. But you may as well do this one that's only active for this month. So it's cool that way. It gives you a little bit of incentive to play during that specific month. Let's talk about the track itself. Once you've hit active, it'll go to the top and you'll see your active track up there. The track has 8 tiers. And between each of these 8 major tiers, there's going to be 5 little ticks. You won't see these ticks unless you're actually getting the XP rewarded to it at the end of a game. You'll see it sort of tick up, and if you win, sometimes you'll get 2 minor ticks. Usually you get for sure 1 if you win. Actually, even if you lose, you get 1. Usually you're going to get 1 per game. If you win, you might get 2, I guess is what I'm saying. But the minor ticks between each one of these are always going to be the same. There's going to be sort of one that's sort of 2 little loot bags. There's going to be one that's a transmutation charge. I think I butchered that still, which is going to be used to change your wardrobe. And there's going to be one that's a tome of knowledge, which is going to be what you level. So some quick math right now shows you that there's going to be 8 tomes of knowledge on your way to the very end here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you're going to get 8 levels through doing that. You're going to get tomes of knowledge through leveling your purple bar at the bottom, and then you also get some through just logging in each day of a month. So they'll start to stack up pretty quickly. The other thing we should talk about is the actual boxes themselves. They can contain anything, literally anything. They can have exotics, they could have precursors for legendaries. They could have ascended weapons. I've had a friend who's gotten an ascended weapon. I've gotten ascended rings from these boxes. I've gotten them both from the Glorious reward track and from a COF, or Citadel of Flame reward track, which is the top, the ascended gear being the top gear in the game. So it's a chance to get it, a small chance, a very small chance, but you can get the top level gear in the game just from these boxes that you're open. So it's pretty cool that way. It adds a little element of luck each time you open one of these boxes. And I've actually saved a stash of them here for us to level or open up together. So it's important to note, and this is one of the most important points I was going to make in this video, that the boxes, so whenever you go past one of the little ticks here, you'll get rewarded with a box. Every little prize you get will come from one of these boxes. And they all just stack up here if you're not opening them. Like, it looks like there's only 3, but they can just bundle up here until you're on whoever you want to open them. And that's very important because they'll be on whichever character. So they're account wide and they're right here. And it's very important that you choose to open them on the highest level character you have, especially if it's a level 80. Because the rewards you get from them will be the same level as the level character you're on. For anything that has levels, that is. Like a Tome of Knowledge won't change depending on which character you're on, so it's not a big deal, but gear will change. And you may as well be, salvaging and getting gear that's level 80 because it generally sells for more. So we'll go ahead and we'll open these right now. We'll click one. And the very first one I had here was a actual daily PvP defender, and I'll talk about what that is. It's a very good segue into what I wanted to do here. So your daily PvPs, or your PvP dailies, will be sort of on the top right of your screen, and if they're not there, because you might have them unclicked, they will be, if you go to achievements down the bottom of the left there, and you go to daily section right here, you'll see your dailies. Mine aren't at the top right because I've already completed them, and they'll reset in 20 hours because I did them quite recently. And they reset at the same time each day. It's not based on when you finish them, it's based on a certain time. So some of the dailies would be like Daily Completionist. You need 3 of the other dailies, which is pretty easy. Daily rank points, earn 50 rank points. You'll get this pretty much no matter what. Defender, you have to defend one of the bases you own, and just a daily win. And there'll be 2 pairs of 2 classes. So, there'll be Engineer, Mesmer, and maybe Warrior Guardian. So there'll be 4 of the possible 8 professions or classes that you can choose from. So it's very likely that there's one that you have a character made for. And I would recommend doing the daily each day because you're going to, and I already showed you what I got from that one. I got a Fallen Hero chest with a potion of PvP reward. This is going to move us forward on our reward track about a tick. So when I use this, you'll see I get another box, which unlocked one of the ticks along our reward path. For demonstration, no, that wasn't one of them. I'll just accept this. It's part of the reward path I just got one of those things from. And I sort of just lost my train of thought, so bear with me for a second here. I was talking about dailies. Sorry about that. Dailies, the reason I would do them otherwise, if, experience in PvP isn't worth it enough for you, you also get 10 achievement points for each time you do a daily. So that starts to add up. You see at the top here, I've earned 220 achievement points just from doing dailies. This is great because, you know, at certain, you know, milestones, you'll get some pretty cool gear from your achievement points. So it's always worth doing it. And you can finish the daily in one game, depending on if you win. And it's really easy to do it in like 2. You know, you just need a win pretty much. So we'll continue opening these, and I'll put them all in my bag first. These are the little loot boxes you get as one of the path things. I got a tome of knowledge there. And from here, I got a transmutation charge. So this is good. It kind of gives you a sampling of all the different things you'll get. The Tome of Knowledge, we've already explained what those are. They're for leveling. You just click on them. Whatever character you want, you get. The transmutation charge are account-wide, so whoever you get it on, just click it, and it'll go into your account sort of, you know, wardrobe area. These are the basic loot boxes you'll get, and you'll get 2 of these for in between each major tick on the reward path. So you'll see me open these. These are the kind of things you want to make sure you open on a level 80 character because they'll be level 80. Anything that's not rare, I would use a basic salvage kit on. So salvage that, and salvage that. This one here is rare, so we're going to use a master salvage kit right here. I'm going to salvage that. I didn't get anything super worthwhile, but the reason we use master salvage kits is because you can get globs of ectoplasm, which sell for a fair bit from them. I got a sigil. You'll get your inventory pretty filled up with sigils because there's just so many different types of them. I'd recommend just seeing if they, just sell them for 3 silver. It's worth it, unless you want to use it. You'll get crafting materials or, you know, garbage sometimes, just toss out. Just deposit all materials to get rid of the crafting materials, and any luck you get is just increase your magic find. So, a champion box is one of the actual big tiers here. So we'll open it. It'll have a higher chance of giving us, you know, rares or exotics. And it'll give us 2 gilded strong boxes, which will have, these are champion bags, so these have chances of producing lots of good stuff. So we'll open them. We got a glacial core here, which is great for making lodestones, and another core here. We're also getting ascended crafting material if we ever want to make ascended armor or weapons. And then all the greens, like I said before, we just salvage them. We get our crafting material, our essences of luck, just use them all and deposit all material, unless you want to sell it right away if you're desperate for money. The Catacombs weapon box is one of the big tiers along the Ascalon Catacombs reward path. This one will reward you with any Ascalon Catacombs weapon. Now there's 2 reasons you might want to get this. 3 reasons. You might like the stats, you might want the cool glowy weapon, or you might want just to make money from it. And the way you make money from it, for those of you who just want to know that quickly, it doesn't really matter what I choose here. I like the hammer, I just feel lucky with it. You choose the power, toughness, vitality stats, accept it, get the weapon right here, and I'll just preview it. It might show the glow, it might not show the glow. Yeah, so this is the kind of glow you get. That's the reason you would want the glowy weapon, which is pretty cool. But if you're for money, you just grab that and you're going to salvage it with one of your master salvage kits. I can salvage that right here. We got 2 globs of ectoplasm, which are going to sell for on the trading post for about 38 silver each, which isn't bad. I'm just going to deposit it because I don't really sell them. I'm using them for stuff. You're going to get a major sigil of ghost slaying, which doesn't sell for anything. Like, I don't even know Oh, 3 silver. Okay, well, I'll get 3 silver for it. Better than nothing. You're going to get some wood, which is not a huge deal, but you're going to get this right here, a soldier's inscription, which is used for crafting, and that's actually going to sell for a bit if you go to sell the trading post. You're going to get 177 just off the bat, or if you go here, you can get 2 gold-ish from it, and I would always list it unless you need the money desperately. And that's not bad, because you, if we go back to the reward tracks here quickly, you're going to be getting one of those weapon things every other reward track on the way up here, and I'm almost at the end here. You're also going to get an armor piece at the end, which you can kind of choose the soldier stats as well and get those inscriptions. So there is really good money to be had. Because in addition to this, every game you win with the that ranked queue there is going to give you 30 silver just to your account. So it's just going to keep filling up. This 87 gold here is purely from PvP. It's just been PvP, and it's not been farming it hard. It's just been playing pretty often, but not purely for the sense of making money. Now, I know this video's gone on quite a bit, and I'll probably put some annotations in just so you can help navigate it. But I hope it has explained a lot of what you need to know about PvP. The last little bit of advice I'll give you is if you push map here, there's a few different areas you can train, test out your DPS just on target dummies over on this this DPS trials waypoint. If you wanted to test out your stuff against some of the NPCs in some of the PvP maps, just go to the combat training area. And then over at the combat training area, sparring NPCs are just sort of little clones of each class that you can fight. I think that's all you need to know to really get started. Please leave comments or questions below if I haven't explained something to its fullest. And as I said before, at the start of the video, we will make a specific video about the new ranked system with the leagues coming in and how that works into PvP if you're interested in getting competitive. Until then, though, have fun playing on whoever you're playing on and enjoy killing people and dying, because that's what this game's about. It's about dying. Anyways, feel free to subscribe for more Guild Wars 2 videos, and give it a like if you found this video helpful or irritating, whatever.